Hello. We will start the session of application of social robots. So my name is Tetsuyo Watanabe. I'm a chair of this session, and Professor Paula and I cannot pronounce your name. Sorry. Julia. Julia is a co-chair of this session. So we have 5 papers in this session, and the first talk is Jin Yu, right? Sorry. So the title is Can Robot Take Over Security? A brief review and critique of security robot versus human security agent. Please come to
Hi everyone, my name is Shane, and I'm super happy to be here today. So today I will present my paper titled Can Robot Take Over Security? A brief review and critique of secure robot versus human security agent. This work is conducted with my advisor, Professor Lionel P. Robert. So today I would like to talk about an emerging technology, which is secure robots. We define secure robots as a robots being deployed to prevent unwanted activities through their presence, surveillance, and ability to notify authorities of unauthorized personnel or actions. So the concept of such robots used to appear a lot in sci-fi movies, but they are actually coming to reality. You could see them appears in like railway stations, shopping malls, and also like airports. These robots could offer us many potential benefits. For example, they could involve in surveillance tasks 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without rest. They could also involve in like dangerous situations to help reduce human security personnel's risk. Well, however, when the robot is actually being deployed in the real world, they face challenge that many public do not accept them. An example would be, in the left picture, you can see it's New York Police Department is announcing that they're going to deploy the Nightscope secure robot at New York Times Squares and railway stations in the summer of 2023. However, after they deployed the robot, the public basically expressed strong skepticism and concerns. Many people are saying they think the robot is creepy, and some others just think they don't like the robot and they prefer a human security agent. So only after 3 months, the robot is quietly retired and no longer being used. So therefore, I think it's time for us to stop looking at this reality, and we started to think, can this robot really replace human security agent, or can this robot really live up to the roles of security? And more importantly, compared to traditional human security agent, how does use of such secure robot actually change people's interactions with them? Therefore, in this paper, we are trying to answer the question, how does use of robot differ from a human security agent in terms of humans' interactions with them? However, when we look at the existing literature, we will find the literature remains fragmented and many times even contradictory. So we intended to conduct a systematic literature review to understand the situation. Before the review, we also looking at the existing literature to see if there are any existing frameworks we could adopt to make sense of the potential contradictory. And we found that in policing literature, researchers often separate their analysis based on who initiated the interaction. So there are 2 types of interaction. The first is police-initiated interaction, which are involuntary interactions initiated by the officers. So for example, the police could stop your car and issuing a ticket, or even like arrest the people. And another type of interaction would be citizen-initiated contact. So it's usually a voluntary interactions. So for example, people could ask security for help, and they could like seeking information and like even like reporting crime. And it's been found that these 2 types of interactions have different mechanism. People would have significant different attitude and acceptance when contact is initiated by the police. People would usually perceive it as more negative and question the police fairness and intent, while the interactions is initiated by the citizen, we will usually see such interaction as more positive and have higher satisfaction. So we decided to use this framework to help our analysis. So we conducted a Prisma method. So we followed the Prisma method to conduct a systematic literature review. Here are the 4 searching engines and the keywords. Our initial keywords is only secure robots, but during the searching procedure, we noticed that the terminology for secure robot in the field is still inconsistent. So we included other related keywords to make sure we include all papers we want. Here are our inclusion criteria. So from the 4 databases, we identified over 4,000 papers, and after we screened based on titles, abstract, and the full text, finally there are 9 papers being included in the final analysis that meets all our inclusion criteria. So those 9 papers, they used different interaction outcomes measures, and we categorize them into 2 main categories, which are perceptions of the agent and acceptance of the agent. The perceptions of agent means people's impressions and evaluations of the agent, while acceptance, it includes 2 categories. The first is behavioral acceptance, means how the people actually interact and how the people actually use the robot and interact with the agent, and the perception acceptance refers to like trust and preference. So we look at the results based on who initiate the interaction and categorize them into 3 main stress areas. The first is comparing agent in citizen-initiated interaction, which involves 5 papers. In the second area, there are 4 papers look at police-initiated interaction, and there is also 1 paper did not involve either citizen-initiated or police-initiated interaction, so we put them at the third area. So looking at the results, in the first field, how does secure agent type impact citizen-initiated interactions? And we found that although results are mixed, some are significant while some are not, but we surprisingly found that all significant results and qualitative findings, they are in the same direction, which suggests that people has a preference for a human secure agent over the robot. To be more specifically, participants, they express strong behavior acceptance. They engage with the human secure agent more, and they are more likely to notice and interact with the human secure agent compared to the robot one. The human also express strong perception acceptance, which means they trust more and accept more the human secure agent compared to the secure robots. There is 1 paper they did a qualitative study, and they found that people distrust robot because they feel the robot has a perceived lack of control, while the human agent would have a greater control and a better understanding of the situation. So in the second area, when the interaction is initiated by the police, we found that all significant results and qualitative findings, again, they are in the same trend, suggesting people have a preference for a secure robot over the human secure agent. To be more specific, people will have better perceptions and also higher perception acceptance toward the robot over the human. And it's been found that the robots are more accepted because people will see the robot as neutral, less offensive, less personal, and could help reduce a sense of resentment. Finally, there is 1 paper they did not look at either citizen-initiated or police-initiated interactions, and the paper generally found that people prefer to hire human guards over security ones. So to summarize what has been found, so first, our study is basically saying that interaction context matters for us to understanding human security agent interaction. When the interaction is initiated by the citizen, it's been found that there's a trend that people prefer human security agent over the robot. The potential reasons are human would trust human more and think human is more under control. While when the interaction is initiated by the police, human will have higher preference for secure robot because of their neutrality, consistency, and help reduce the sense of offense. This is potentially suggesting that in the future, a best potential ways for us to deploying the security would be using a hybrid security system. We could let human be responsible for certain jobs while let the robot be responsible for others. However, more studies need to be conducted to understand how to best balance their responsibilities. Our study also reviews some potential opportunities for the future. So first, we think our study need a potential quantitative study in the future to help verify such contextual preference. And at the same time, our study found that most of studies they are using a structured security tasks. While, however, in the real life, the security tasks could be highly unstructured and also involve situations like high stakes and ethically complex situations. So we think more studies in the future should try to adopt real-world security duties to help understand the real-world situations. Thank you very much and welcome any questions.
Thank you very much. So are there any questions?
Yeah, thank you. Oh, funny. Thank you for your talk. Very interesting and very relevant. I was wondering, on the slide before this one, you said more quantitative studies, and on slide 11 and 12, you mentioned every time statistically significant difference. Maybe I didn't listen carefully enough, but significant results, what does it mean? What kind of tests, what kind of data? Or how do you say significant?
Okay, so when I say significant, it means since we are a literature review, so in our review, the nine studies we included, there are quantitative study, there are also a qualitative study. When studies are doing like quantitative results, so they will compare human versus robot on certain outcomes, like when, like how, like for example, they could compare how the frequency of interactions. So this will this will reduce a significant results, while qualitative results will not. Well, qualitative studies will not have significant results, right? And we found that all significant results of the quantitative study, the trend is same as the results from the qualitative study. That's, I hope it explains.
So are there any questions? Okay, let's say thanks to speakers again. Thanks.
Thanks.